Hello and welcome to the third annual channel update and New Year message from me, Daniel. Today we'll be looking back at the last year on the channel, where we've improved, where we've changed, and of course we'll be looking forward to this year and letting you know what's to come. It'll also include, of course, a massive thank you for your incredible support since FM21 released, all the new social media stuff that's going on, all the new platforms I'm available on, and ways you can come and get involved with the channel, and of course the community too. So firstly, a very happy new year to everyone. I hope you had a good festive period and I hope the new year's a bit better than the last one. But if you are looking forward to this video, this channel update, and you have enjoyed any of the content in the last year, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below, of course, for daily FM21 content, which we'll talk a bit more about in a moment. And of course, 2 live streams a week now too, something that's happened regularly during the last year as well. So of course the first thing as always is a massive thank you for your support this year. I mean, this time last year, for an example of how far we've come, you couldn't even see my face. You'd never seen it before. So that is a massive step forward for the channel. Things such as a webcam, things such as streaming for the first ever time, something we now do regularly. All of these weren't happening at this time last year, and some of them weren't even targets for the next 12 months. So it's a massive step forward for us, and we're going to try and be a bit more ambitious this year. But thank you to all of you that have contributed towards it, whether it's watching a video, liking a video, subscribing, coming in and talking in a live stream, following on Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all of those things. They all make such a difference. So thank you again for your incredible support. But before we talk about what's coming on the channel this year, let's have a quick look back at the last one. Because of course we've made big progress. So let's just have a quick look at what you've helped me achieve. And we do that with our favourite 2020 year in review via TubeBuddy. So let's have a little look at what we started with last year, what's happened in the 12 months, and where we are now. Of course, a lot of what's happened is since the new game came out a couple of months ago. But if you look at last year, the channel was half the size. We only had 1,000 subscribers. We just passed it before the new year. Of course, we've now passed 2. The watch time, the views are incredibly up. And you can see all 3 of the top videos this year are ones from the new game. 9,500 on the head coach in 7 weeks is nuts for a channel my size. So thank you so much for your support with it. We've gained nearly 1,000 subscribers. The number of views is up as well. Considering the new game's only just come out is remarkable. And you've of course helped the channel double in size. Not quite sure about the gift there. That can be for you to decide. But a very good year. And if we go back up and have a look, the channel is double the size in terms of subscribers. We only passed 2,000 2 days ago and it's now nearly 2,050. Nearly 300,000 views across the channel, and I've just passed 1,000 uploads as well. Of course, no Ashes cricket game last year, so not as many extras in the summer, but I'm sure this winter, with an Ashes series due, we'll hopefully have a bit more then as well. And of course, we've started live streaming too, so a magnificent year. I can't thank you enough for helping these numbers happen, because they have made such a difference. And hopefully we can set some ambitious targets for next year, which will be achievable. But of course 2020, as well as the stats and the numbers, has a lot more behind it. We've managed to establish a lot of social medias. For the first time ever in April I live streamed, and I sort of felt that coincided with finding my style as a creator. The content I was making 12 months ago wasn't great in truth. It was rushed due to work. I wasn't quite sure what style I wanted to go for. And I feel like I'm making natural stuff now, which seems to have come across well. So hopefully that remains the case. But live streaming has made a big difference. We started with sort of 4, 5 or 6 in the live streams. And now it's 15, 20, 25. And there's plenty of you having a chat. We talk football, food and pretty much everything bar Football Manager most of the time. But thank you for that. During this year with lockdowns and all sorts, it has kept us all sane. So hopefully you continue to enjoy them. And of course, I'll try and continue to be consistent with them. We're carrying on twice a week with Dundee United at the moment. So in 2021, live streams have no sign of closing down. We'll be hoping to keep up the regular streaming. We'll be hoping to do the same again. And after the incredible beta save with Wigan, where we had the most dramatic end to the live stream series you could imagine, we've got a big year with Dundee United. We've just finished the first season. We'll be back with the start of season 2 on Sunday in 2 days' time. So I hope you can come and join me for that. Live streams will continue every Sunday at 10:30 AM, every Tuesday at 5:30 PM. That will be throughout this Dundee United save, and if at any point we change later on, of course, or work patterns change or whatever, we'll address that when we come to it. But for now, that's very much the plan. We've also set up new social medias as well, so in addition to Twitter, which you can see in the description down below, there's also a link now to Instagram, which was set up a couple of weeks ago, and once I go back to football, there'll be a lot more sort of stuff on there too. And there's also a Discord server, which so many of you have helped make so active. A quick shout out to L Gaming, who helped create it initially when I'd not really known what it was. and it's become a really good place. There's about 20 of us there at the moment, so feel free to come and join along. Again, the link's in the description. And come and get involved in the chat. We talk football. We're normally watching it most evenings. We're normally all watching different games. And it's become a really nice community and place to hang out. So thank you for making it so active, so approachable, and so good for new people coming into it as well. Again, it really does make a difference. And of course, lastly, we've got to talk about the video series. I know we've had a mini Christmas one with Luton Town. We've had a mini mobile series as well, both of which have gone incredibly well. But the two bread and butter series are the long-term stories from the full game. We've got our Build a Nation with Bangor City, which I'm really enjoying. And then, of course, the head coach, which we do every year. But this one has been something else. It's the first one we've not ended up starting in England. It's the first one where we've not been in England yet. And it is definitely the first one we've had a meteoric rise. So if you haven't seen any of that stuff yet, please do click in the eye above to catch up with all of the links so far. Those two long-term stories will continue every day at 3:30 on the channel. After today, of course, where you've got this message. But I can't envisage any other things coming. So in the meantime, we will have content every single day from those two stories. They rotate each day. They're doing really well. I can't thank you enough for your interaction with them. The number of comments has gone up massively. The number of thumbs up. Even the number of adverts watched makes a difference. And for a channel my size and with aspirations, it really does help. So we'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. But again, thank you so much for your support with it. The numbers since the new game have come out have absolutely astonished me. I don't really know how to describe it, but I certainly won't complain. And it is going to lift us to more lofty ambitions next year. We'll set ambitious targets and we'll see what happens. Of course, the only other thing that's been mentioned in the live streams quite a bit, which we will talk about too, is a network save. It's one I did with Craig from the podcast channel in FM20. Again, that channel's been growing really quickly, so we've had to put a bit more focus on that. We've been lucky enough to interview loads of pros. We, of course, had some great matchday vlogs before the initial pandemic, and we've had loads of chances to introduce the championship predictions every matchday, topical podcasts and manager specials, and all of that is going really well. We're also on the race to 1,000 over there. We've gone from 100 subscribers to 750 in 2020. So if you haven't checked it out yet, or you are able to help, please do click in the eye above. There's a link to the channel. There's some great content there, but also if you can subscribe, it does make a difference there too. I know many of you are already, so thank you for coming along and giving it a try. And it's just more laid-back content like this sort of stuff. We want to be natural. We don't want to try and create clickbait headlines or anything like that. It's just a chance for us to talk football, talk like mates down the pub, something that we've not been able to do most of this year. So the more the merrier. Come and join in the fun. Come and join in the comments. We can all disagree on certain opinions, but it's good for us to have a chat and a laugh. And it's something we've been able to do and really enjoy this year. So certainly kept us three sane, certainly kept me sane over here, and hopefully for a few of you guys it's helped a bit too. But on the subject of network saves, there is likely to be one. We're going to record it all before we release it, so it probably won't be anytime soon. But it is definitely going to be the battle of the hoops, Reading versus QPR. Myself v Craig will return for season 2. He got the upper hand last year, of course, with Barnet versus Chesterfield. But this year, I'm looking for a bit of revenge. It was very close, and hopefully I'll be able to get one over on him this time. Of course, we mentioned some of the upgrade and changes to the channel that have made a big difference this year. The webcam being the most obvious example, but even just a proper desk and workstation, something I never had before. It's still tucked up next to a bed and between a bed and a wardrobe, but it's a professional area, which makes it a lot better to deal with. And of course, juggling it with a full-time job does make it hard, but at the moment, it still feels like a hobby. And for as long as that's the case, and I'll try and do that, it will hopefully be something that you all enjoy. A lot of people have asked me for certain types of series, and I often say no, and I don't mean to be rude by it. I'm just mindful of the fact that a lot of creators burn out. They end up doing things that they think will get views, rather than things that they really enjoy, and that often comes across. And sometimes it can make you sort of fall out of love with doing it. So for me, I will always stick the same, no matter how big or small this channel is. I will play the games and play the series that I would usually play anyway if I wasn't doing this. So for Football Manager, I'm doing the same series I would before. I'd done the head coach 2 or 3 years before I started making YouTube content. And I always do a one club or a Build a Nation. Some years it's one, some the other, some both. But as long as it's a club that I would enjoy managing, that I would have anyway, hopefully this will always feel like a hobby. And the more that that's the case, the more I can hopefully make content. And hopefully, the more it will be enjoyable and come across as positive. I know we have our frustrating moments in the save, but there are some magical ones as well. And even in this year's edition, there's been some already. So I hope there's many more to come. But thank you so much for your support with them. Thank you for understanding the reasons we make the series we do. And of course, if there are any other games on the channel this year, I mentioned I've played cricket and snooker before, which have both gone down quite well. They're not ones I'm looking to play actively, but if there's an Ashes cricket game and I would play it anyway, I'll probably make the content for it because that's something I'd always do anyway. And of course that leads on to the final thing, which are the targets for 2021. I've made no mistake of being honest in the live streams to say long term I would love to make this part of my job. I do enjoy what I do on a day job in the NHS, but I want to do part of this as well. And it's not something after last year that will be manageable full time for the rest of my career. So hopefully we can make it part and part. The only thing I ask at the moment, if you're able to, is to watch the videos, chuck a thumbs up, subscribe and watch the adverts if you can. I don't expect you to watch long 15-20 minutes ones, honestly. Just skip them. Please do. Take it from me, it's not worth it. But if you're happy to watch the 10, 20, 30 second ones, it does make a massive difference. And of course can help me make the content better in the future, such as the webcam and the desk, which it's already paid for. And then longer term, of course, to help try and make it part of my job, which I'd love to do because I can make more content for you. I can interact more and I can be more involved live as well. I will touch on a subject briefly that a few people have mentioned, which they've asked if there's going to be a Patreon or a YouTube memberships and things like that. At this stage, there isn't, because to be honest, I don't feel that my content for long enough has been good enough to earn it. And I'm not at that stage yet where I need it. And it's a tough time for everyone, so I don't just want to ask for that. Longer term, again, I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't say that I'm never going to do that, because realistically, if I want to make it part of my job, it's probably going to have to happen at some point. But I don't want to do it at the moment when it's not necessary and when I don't feel I've earned it. So we'll certainly do a lot more growing the channel first, and I'll be making a lot more content for you. And hopefully, if and when that day comes where I have to do that, those of you that are able to help or wanting to help will understand, and those that aren't, nothing will change. No content will ever be hidden behind a paywall. Nothing like that will ever happen. It will just be a case of, if you enjoy the content, then please continue to watch it. Please put a thumbs up on it. Please subscribe and ask anyone you know to. The more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. And of course, if you're able to watch those adverts, it really does help. But at the moment, no plans for anything else other than to keep growing, keep making more content, trying to throw in the odd little extra series where possible. We've already had a mobile special and a Christmas special with Luton Town. The latter didn't go too well if you haven't seen it. But all of the playlists are in the eye above. And I have to finish with a massive thank you. Since the new game's come out, I mean, we've gained over 700 subscribers in 7 weeks, which for a channel my size to grow 50% in 7 weeks is remarkable. So thank you for your incredible support. I will set some little targets for 2021, which I'll recap in the description down below with all those social media links. But the big target numbers are as follows. I'm going to try and double it again because we almost doubled it this year. Let's try again. If we don't make it, we don't make it. It's not worth worrying about. So I'm going to aim for the end of 2021 for 4,000 subscribers. Of course, it will partly depend on when the new game comes out next year. And of course, if I continue to make good, consistent content. That's something I hadn't done at the start of last year. And hopefully I'll be able to do it for 12 months for the first time. My goals for you guys is to be as active in the chats, in the Discord and things as possible. I'm really pleased with the little community we've built in those already. The live streams are always great fun. We end up talking football and most of the time you're telling me what's happening on the screen for Football Manager. There are little upgrades I'd like to make to help that, such as getting a little second screen so I can do both at the same time. But at the moment, you guys are fantastic. You're helping me along the way and you're understanding the limitations as well, which really does help. So thank you again. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you've had a good festive period, as much as you can enjoy it at the moment. And I hope you're going to look forward to 2021, because fingers crossed it's going to be a better year. But the most important thing is to try and stay happy and healthy. If you need any help or support, then come and get involved in that Discord. Come and give me a chat on Twitter. And come and get involved in the live streams, because community and talking to people is always the best thing. And hopefully we'll all be able to be supportive whenever it's needed. But thank you again for watching. Thank you for supporting me for another year. I hope this time next year we're bigger and better and you're still enjoying the content. It will always be the same style. I'm not a magnificent storyteller. I'm not a magnificent sort of actor or anything like that. It is always going to be about the football and the Football Manager, or the sport if it's another game. So that will stay the same. I'll stay the same. I hope you guys will as well. And hopefully when I see you this time next year, we'll have plenty more achievements to talk about. But a massive thank you again. I'll see you at 3:30 tomorrow for the head coach. And it's a big one as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.